What's up, everyone? How are you? Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to the Match Day 3 deadline stream. It's going to be a busy week. So the team you can see on screen, half of it is going to be the final team just to avoid copying. I'm going to make like 5 changes, 5 minutes to the deadline. Switch things up. If you can guess who I'm going to switch out and switch in, good luck, but I'm going to change like 5 players in that squad. So how are you guys? How are your teams looking? Have you played your wildcard? Have you played your limitless chip? Have you just made transfers? Let me know in the comment section. Let's go. Glenn says, Soldier Boy, how are you? Elite YouTuber. I'm not sure about that on Soldier Boy, but thank you, man. Soldier Boy, tell him. Danish says, I'm fast in the league. Can you help me with my wildcard? Danish is fast in the league. No, you don't need my help, Danish. I will check your team. Let's see. Oh, you have your team here. So Sesko, Haaland, Mbappe, Højbjerg, Sané, Musiala, Diaz, Valverde, Davis, Cancelo, Carvajal, Kostic, Gomez, Adnan, and Lupin. So forward line, I have thought about Sesko because I saw him playing for his country during the international break and scoring, and I was like, should I bring him in or not? I know he's 7 million, but I've seen he's not started every single game this season. He gets subbed off early sometimes, so he is a good option, but I wouldn't go for him. I think there are better players out there. Haaland and Mbappe stays self-explanatory. I think both of them are just good enough. Neymar and Messi are not bad at all. Like if a team like if they weren't playing Benfica, I'd actually, even if Haaland didn't exist, for example, I'd actually consider having Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, all 3 of them in the team, because whenever one is scoring, the other one is assisting. They all can get 7+ points in a match day. Højbjerg, I think Frankfurt will not lose that game, so Højbjerg can get you points by maybe 3 or 4 points. I know you're going for him because it's cheaper. I'd still prefer someone like Kvaratskhelia instead of Højbjerg. Sané, Musiala, I'm sure everyone will have them. Diaz, Valverde, Davis is okay. I currently don't have him in my team. I will decide that when we see the team news. Cancelo for sure. Carvajal, Kostic, Gomez, Adnan, and Lupin. I'm happy with that. I'm happy how the Sporting goalkeeper. Carvajal, I think Shakhtar will score in that game. So you're really hoping for recovery points from Carvajal and attacking returns. Kostic, I have Kostic in my team at the moment, but I'm not a fan of Juventus. I know they beat Bologna the other day after a long time without winning a game. They were 9th on the table before that. I'm not a fan of going for their players. I've thought about Milik. I've thought about Vlahovic. I've thought about even McKennie in midfield, but I'm not sure, man. I don't trust Juventus that much like I trust PSG or trust Bayern Munich. I know know they might win this game against Maccabi Haifa, but I'd not be surprised if Maccabi score a goal. The other time they played against PSG, Maccabi had like something like 15, 16 shots in that game. So they're not terrible. They aren't terrible in the last game. So I wouldn't be surprised if they scored against Juventus. How are you, Penguin? Hope you're doing well. And Dennis says, let's go. Let's see. Is Maya a long-term choice? Nope. I know the other goalkeeper is back. I've had him for the 2 match days he's played, obviously, because the other goalkeeper was not there. Match day 3, I think he will play as well. Now, in match day 4, I'm happy to go with I'm still happy to go with Adan for both days. Basically, I'm happy to just have one goalkeeper for match day 4. I will plan to play my limitless either match day 5 or 6. I don't think I'm worried about the goalkeeper that much because I think Adan has some really good fixtures in that group. And May is only going to cost you 4 million, so I'm not sure about upgrading the goalkeeper. Now, I can't go for the goalkeeper from Rangers. McGregor is only 4 million as well, but he plays on the same day that Dan. That's the problem. I'm not willing to upgrade to 4.5 million goalkeeper unless before the deadline I have enough cash remaining. Then I might think about it very well. But what I'm wanting to do is having enough cash as well in match day 4 and 5 in case I play my limitless in match day 6. I don't want to be out of cash in match day 4 and 5. I want to leave like 1 million in the bank and maybe a couple of transfers in match day 4 to use in match day 5. I'm to have like 3 transfers in match day 5. That is what I'm planning. So I don't want to use all the cash. So I'm happy to keep Meyer. So it's not really a long-time choice. I trust Adan to be there until match day 6. Love from India, man. Sons says, Champ, thank you, man. Help me win my mini league. We will try, Champ. We will try. No problem. Danish. Good evening, Summit. Hope you're doing well as always. Thank you for being here. By the way, I'll be live after this with the Bayern Munich Victoria Pills and watch along. I know it's going to be interesting because nearly all of us have 2-3 Bayern Munich players, so I will be live for a watch along for that one. With Theo injured, should I change him to Valverde or some other midfielder or defender? I think Valverde is definitely a good option in that midfield for Madrid. He didn't start in the last game against Osasuna, and they didn't win that game. I think he's going to be brought straight back in for this one. So I think Valverde is a great option for sure. I'm wondering what's going on. What's going to be our bet today? Let me know, Summit. You won. You won the last. You won the one for Victoria Pilsen, conceding, not scoring against Inter Milan. I remember that one. Go ahead, Sammy. Let me know what your bet is for today. Is there any other chance to use wildcard later? Yeah, there is match day 4. You can use it in match day 4, match day 3 or 4. I think that will be good enough. Last season, we got to like the quarterfinals, and I was actually wishing I'd had a wildcard because a lot of my players went out. The only reason why you can save your wildcard to the knockout stage is if you have a lot of PSG players, Bayern Munich players, Liverpool players, and then all 3 of them get knocked out. That's when you can use your wildcard, but that is the chances of that happening is very, very minimal. So the best time to use your wildcard is during the group stage, and it's match day 3 or 4, basically. I think match day 3 you can target the 2 fixtures at the same time, match day 3 or 4. You can argue you can use it anytime in match day 3, 4, or 5. I think the best is match day 3 because you can target both fixtures in match day 3 and 4. But if you know which teams are going to go through and which teams still haven't gone through by match day 5, then you can still use it for match day 5 and 6. But I think it's best to use it in match day 3. If your team is okay, if you already had like 2 Bayern Munich players, you already had like 2 City players in your team already, you had a Juventus player, you had a Dortmund player, and you have 2 transfers, and those 2 transfers are enough for you. You don't have to play a wildcard. You don't have to play a wildcard because everyone else is playing it, especially if you have a good enough team already. You can just wait for match day 4 or 5. Summit says Vlahovic and Pedro Gonçalves or Milik and Kunku plus an extra 0.5 million year views. I've just seen somewhere that Milik is injured, if I'm not wrong, Summit. I've seen a rumor somewhere that Milik could miss the game. I thought about him because he's 7 million. Let me just confirm that one for you. But if he wasn't injured, I'd probably go for the first option because I think I love Sporting as an option in Gonçalves. And Vlahovic, I think he will score against Maccabi Haifa without everything that I've said still. Kunku is playing against Celtic. It could be a good option still. Let me just confirm the Milik story. I had somewhere that he's injured. So Ripardo says he's injured. So I did see somewhere that he was injured. So if he's injured, obviously, then you can just go for the first option, Summit. I would still go for the first option because Milik gets subbed off a lot of times anyway. I think he played 60 minutes in the first game or something like that. So I would still go for Vlahovic. Should I get Varsheli or Kudus instead of Højbjerg? I'd go for the ones who are at home. So I'd go for Kudus because he plays as a striker. So that is what I'd do. I'd go for Kudus, Danish, because he plays as a striker and he has the home game this week. Lewandowski versus Benzema on match day 1. He lost the bet. Yeah, I remember that one. That was painful. That is what definitely hit my rank in match day 1. I mean, Benzema got injured. There's nothing you can do about that one, really. I think he would have scored in that game. They won 3-0. But yeah, I was very stupid not to go for Lewandowski against Victoria Pilsen. So I deserved the heart that week. Nesh says Adan, Perrin, Cancelo, Tavares. Tavares did not start the last game for Marseille in the league, so I took him out of my team immediately. He didn't start the last game, so consider that. Danilo, Guerrero, Reynaldo, Sane, Kudus, Musiala, Vinicius, Bellingham, Vlahovic, Nunes, and Haaland. You've gone for Nunes at differential. I think he will start this match day. I also think Jota might start for Liverpool this week. So if you're feeling very brave and you want to go for someone like Jota, go for him as well, or Nunes. Haaland for sure. I can see you don't have any PSG players, Nesh. I think PSG players, you have to have at least one PSG attacker, whoever it is, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, because even against Benfica, I still think they'll score at least 2 goals in that game. I'm thinking 2-1, 3-2 in that game or something like that. They will still score. So I think most of their players are still good. And I still will prefer Mbappe instead of Vlahovic, even if they're playing Maccabi Haifa. So let's see, Bellingham, Junior, Musiala, Kudusane. I'm happy the midfield, Bellingham against Sevilla. I think he could do well. The thing is, the reason I've not gone for any Dortmund midfielder, I actually had Royce in match day 1 and 2. I was thinking about keeping him or bringing in Bellingham, but Sevilla in the last game, they drew 0-0 against Copenhagen. I'd not be surprised if Sevilla just parked the bus in this game, ended up being 0-0 or 1-0 or something like that. And I also need to pick up points from somewhere, Sevilla. So I think this is the game they really need to do that. Guerrero, Reynaldo, Perrin, Cancelo, Tavares. So I would probably just change Tavares and maybe change Nunes or Vlahovic, because I don't know about Nunes. I'm not sure about Liverpool. So if I know they will win that game, but I'm not sure about that. I mean, if Nunes starts and scores, I don't think a lot of people have him. So if I was to change a couple of players there, I'd probably take out Tavares first. And then, this is a hard one. I would probably take out Vlahovic will score. So just take out Tavares, Nesha. I don't want to make you change your strikers because I still think both of them have a good chance to score. And I think both of them will start this match day. So Tavares didn't start in the last game. So just look for someone else. And I think they'll lose that game. Fixtures to target attack-wise and defense-wise on wildcard. Attacking-wise, Man City versus Copenhagen. Defensive-wise, Man City versus Copenhagen once again. Attacking-wise, Bayern Munich against Pilsen. Defensive-wise, Marseille against Sporting or Sporting against Marseille. I think Sporting will do well in that game as well. Which are the fixture? Juventus, Maccabi Haifa. I think Juventus have a better chance of keeping a clean sheet instead of a better chance of scoring 3 goals. The reason I'm not a big fan of Atletico Madrid and Juventus, they never really beat anyone 4-0 or 5-0. It's always 1-0, 2-0 or something like that. And PSG can score 6 goals. Bayern Munich can score 8. Man City can score 10 in a game. I don't think Juventus and Atletico Madrid can do that, so I would prefer their defenders. So defensively, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Man City, Bayern. Attacking-wise, Bayern Munich, Man City, and also that Ajax against Napoli game. I think is going to be like 3-2 or 3-3. I only have one player from Ajax right now and no player from the defender from Napoli. But right before the deadline, I'll probably get in another Napoli player or something like that. Best 4 million defender says Wirel. Hope I'm saying your name right. It used to be Tavares, but he didn't start the last game, and Marseille have been a bit awful in the Champions League this season and in previous seasons. I had Meja from Club Brugge, but he didn't also start in the last game for Club Brugge. I think there's a Salzburg defender at 4 million. Let me just get you the correct name. He's a 4 million defender from Salzburg. Let me just see. Salzburg. 4 million. Yeah, Dedic. That's his name, Dedic. So that is my answer, Dedic Virel. I think Dedic is a good option. I think there's a chance of keeping a clean sheet against Dinamo Zagreb. So Dedic or any 4 million defender from Club Brugge. There is another one apart from Meja. Meja went up in price and he didn't start in the last game. I think he's like an injury doubt. So there is this Michele guy is also 4.1, but it starts as a center back. Meja starts as a left wing back. So Michele, if you think they're going to keep a clean sheet, then you can go for him. So either Club Brugge Bruges or Salzburg. Apart from that, there's not too many, Viral. Dedic, Otavais, Dedic, Bellingham, Marcus Edwards, or Okafor. Thank you. Hi, but I always see in the comments, Bellingham, Marcus Edwards, or Okafor. Okafor against Dinamo Zagreb. I would not be surprised again if that game ended very, very low scoring 1-1 or even 0-0. I would go for Bellingham. I trust him more. But Marcus Edwards is a very good option still. I think Sporting are doing very, very well. Both their main team and their youth team. I just watched their youth team playing against Marseille and they won 6-0. So if you think the main team is going to perform as good as the youth team, then go for Marcus Edwards. But I do prefer Sporting defenders than the attackers, and then I do prefer Bellingham from those options. Ignored. Champ says ignored. No, I didn't ignore. I think I have got the best team for this match day. Should I share my team now near the end of the stream? Near the end, I usually when I usually play FPL and this one, I'm not really bothered about showing my team. But yeah, I've seen a lot of copying also from other people's streams and stuff. So I do prefer. That is not my final team. I will change like 5 players from that. I'm still waiting for the Bayern Munich team. Cozy, how are you, man? Nice to see you here. Do you play Champions League Fantasy? Juggler or Sesko? Juggler, because he's probably going to play 80 plus minutes. I'm not sure Sesko is going to play that as many minutes as Juggler. So I would go for Juggler from those options. Is Lucas Hernandez injured? Yeah, the last time I checked, he didn't play for Bayern Munich over the weekend. I think it was Delete and Upamecano. Sane versus Musiala, captain. Literally, you can go for anyone. I don't think Musiala is a bad option. I think both of them will do well today, especially if they both start. I think both of them will do well. So I would personally go for Sane, but Musiala is a good option as well. So I think today it's going to vary. You can go for anyone from those guys. You can even go for any of the defenders if you prefer. Kostic or Cavallal, Kostic. I think the better fixture, Maccabi Haifa against Shakhtar. I think Shakhtar will score against Madrid. Julian Brandt against Bellingham. I would go for Bellingham. Brandt played very well in the first game, but I think Bellingham is a more great option than him. Is more secure option. Viral says Con, Adan, Cavallal, Upamecano, Dedic, Kostic, Cancelo, Musiala, Valverde, Kudus, Sane, Diaz, Sesko, Mbappe, Haaland rate my team. So goalkeepers, no problem. Dedic, you've gone for a 4 million defender there. Kostic, no problem. Cancelo as well. Something is telling me, though, that Man City is going to rest one of these players, either Haaland, Cancelo, or De Bruyne. I have a feeling at least one of them will be on the bench. So we can't guess, but I have a feeling at least one of them will be on the bench. Either Haaland is given time out. The thing is, even if Haaland comes on for 20 minutes, he can still score. Cancelo might start because a lot of their defenders are injured, so Cancelo is the one who might probably start. But between De Bruyne, Foden, and Haaland, I think at least one of them will be on the bench. I think Alvarez could start or Mahrez, but Mahrez is way too expensive, 10 million. So that's something to look at. Cavallal is okay, but I think Shakhtar will score in that match. Musiala, midfield, no problem at all. And then forward line, I'm not sure about Sesko, so I would give you 8 out of 10. Viral. Should I use my wildcard? Says I'm scared. It really depends on your team. As I said, if you already had Liverpool players, already had Bayern Munich players, Man City players, you don't really have to play a wildcard. It just depends on your team. If you feel like your team needs it, then you can go for it. But if you don't have Sane in your team, you don't have Valverde, you didn't have any Man City attacker, you didn't have any Juventus asset, then you can play a wildcard from that. The reason I played my wildcard is because I really wanted to get in Valverde. I wanted to get in 3 Bayern Munich players. I wanted to get in a couple of City players. So that is why I played that. Alka says, is Di Maria a good option? No, I wouldn't go that. He just recovered from an injury. I'd rather go for the likes of McKennie there. And we don't know if Di Maria is going to start or if he's going to come from the bench. Nah, you rather go for the likes of Vlahovic or any of the defenders. If Di Maria starts here, then we can think about him in matchday 4. But I think Di Maria is way too differential, especially if you're playing a wildcard. You need someone who's going to play both matchday 3 and 4. I'm not sure Di Maria will. Which Bayern Munich defender do you think is the best? Probably Alphonso Davies. probably the best. He's more expensive than the others. So if you do need more cash for elsewhere, then you can go for the likes of Upamecano and Pavard. But if you don't need the cash, you can just go for Alphonso Davies. Summit says budget Juventus defender Danilo Cuadrado both at 5 million. I would go for Danilo. I think I saw Cuadrado getting subbed off against Bologna. That means he will start. So I would go for Danilo. Ricardo says Mignolet, Davis, Lucas Hernandez is injured, so I would change that. Meja did not play the last game for Club Brugge, so I would try and change that as well. Valverde, Vinicius, wow, double up on Real Madrid. Kudus, Sane, Osic, Jugler, Haaland bench, Courtois, Otamendi, Foden, Cancelo. Wow, you've gone for 3 Man City players. You've gone for how many? Sane, Lucas Hernandez, Davis. So you've gone for a double up on their defense. Bayern Munich. I would still try to go for Musiala instead of 2 Bayern Munich defenders. And Lucas Hernandez is injured anyway. I don't think he'll play. So we will wait to see the team news anyway. I don't think he will start. If he does, then you can keep him. But if he doesn't, then definitely need to change that. Foden, as I said about Foden and Haaland, I have a feeling at least one of them will be on the bench. So what I would do there, I'm happy with Vinicius and Valverde and Kudus, Sane. Osic, I guess, is a differential. I'd try to change the defense. Maybe even Mignolet. I'd try and change at least 3 of those defenders, Ripardo. The rest, I'm happy to keep. Otamendi can still pick up recovery points, but I think you can make the defense slightly stronger. You can go for a Juventus player. You can even go for a Liverpool player if you prefer. I did put a poll the other day asking if you're going for a Liverpool defender. Let me just check the results. Luis Diaz replacement says Ops. You need a Luis Diaz replacement. I think Luis Diaz is good to keep for this match day, but if you need a replacement, if it's a Liverpool replacement, you can go for Nunes or Jota up front. But if it's a direct midfield replacement, then Vinicius from Real Madrid is great. Sane from Bayern Munich is great unless you already have them. You can also go for Man City player, maybe a Bernardo Silva or Sama, but I think Diaz is a great option for this week. The other fixtures are really difficult. Barcelona, Inter Milan, difficult. Real Madrid, Shakhtar, it's only Valverde and Vinicius, really. Benzema is back, but he threw away a penalty the other day, though. I'm not sure I would go for him this day. As Summit says earlier, so he actually cost me in match day 1, Benzema. He's answered that, Anelka. Quick question, where Arsenal finished last 3 seasons? Absolutely no idea, bro. Absolutely no idea. I know where we'll finish this season, though. Anel says, hey, what's going on? I'm playing my Limitless. Wow, interesting, Anel. Let me know what your team is looking like. If you're playing a Limitless, then you can even go for players like Mahrez if you just for 1 week. Sergio Gomez of Man City to start. Yep, I think he'll definitely start at left back because of the injuries. Stones is injured. Laporte is back. Diaz is back. I think that's going to be the difference. I think he will start at left back. Do you think Ajax or Napoli will win? Is Kudus better than Zelinski? I think Ajax will win this one 3-2. But I think when they go to Napoli, Napoli will win it. So I think the home team will win. But I think both teams will score. Silla or Guerrero? Tough one. Silla can score from set pieces, but Guerrero is just going to push forward. So I'd still go for Guerrero. Myron says Garbage, Ronaldo, Davis, Cancelo, Vini, Sane, Varshelia, Valverde, Haaland, Mbappe. Neymar, what do you think? So I'm happy with the forward line. Valverde, Varshelia, Sane, Vini, that's okay. That's okay, no problem with that at all, Myron. I would give that probably you already have Sane. I'd go for 8.5 out of 10. I would still go for 3 Bayern Munich players. So let's wait and see the team is. I'd still go for 3 Bayern Munich players instead of 2. Neymar and Mbappe, I think that's a differential. I think Neymar will do pretty well as well. So how good is Bellingham? How he says he's quite good. Very good to even be given a captaincy as a teenager for Dortmund. He captained the team the other day. He's pretty good. He's going to get you goals. He can get you assists as well. He can get you recovery points in the midfield. So he is good. 7 million. Alternatives to Kostic, please. Are you looking for like Juventus alternatives or different teams? Let me know how. If it's different teams, probably target Bayern Munich players. You can go for Sergio Gomez from Man City. I think he will start as well. But if it's Juventus, then probably the guy at right back, Danilo. I think sometimes he even starts as a center back, but I'd go for Danilo. Amos says Haaland, Lewandowski, Mbappe, KDB, Salah, Son, interesting. Sane, that team looks very expensive. This is a limitless team, right? Yeah, I was wondering. This team looks very expensive. So Imas is playing his limitless Cancelo, Cavall, Hakimi, Neuer. So you've gone for Neuer, Davis, and Sane. If you're going for a limitless, I would go for 2 Bayern Munich attackers instead of 2 defenders. Remember, it just takes a set piece or something like that for Victoria Pilsen to score. There's obviously a 70% chance they won't score, but I would still go for a midfielder there. I wouldn't go for Son, not because I'm an Arsenal fan or anything like that, but the way Tottenham are playing away from home, especially the way they played against Sporting and against Arsenal the other day, they pack the bus a bit too much in those Champions League away games, and I don't think they'll beat Frankfurt. But I know it's only for 1 week, but I really do think there's better options. Haaland, Lewandowski, Mbappe is great. KDB, I mean, something is telling me KDB or Foden, one of them will be rested. But as long as you have a good bench, as long as you do have a good bench, which I'm assuming you will have because you're playing a limitless, then the problem is KDB is playing on the second day. So if in terms of rating this, I'd give it 8 out of 10. I think Mbappe, Haaland, great. I think Sané, great. I think Vinicius, great. Salah and Trent, both in your team. They've been a bit poor this season, Liverpool. They are also conceding a lot of goals, so I would avoid their defense. I know you have Trent because of his attacking capabilities, but I'd try and avoid them this week. I'd probably go for like a Juventus defender. I think Rangers will score. Liverpool have conceded 3 against Brighton. They conceded 2 against United. They conceded 4 against Napoli. I'm not sure about their defense. They're coming under a lot of criticism. I went for 3 Madrid and 3 Man City and 3 Bayern, says Ripardo. Yeah, I think many people will do that as well. I used to do that like a couple of seasons ago. I was just going for, on a limitless, I'd go for like just 4 teams. But you want to spread your assets. You want to, not in that way. That sounds so wrong. You want to spread your players. Like, that still sounds very wrong. You want to spread your options. Yes, you want to spread your options in terms of the players that you have. That is what you need to do. Also, it makes the game more fun to watch if you have players from Juventus, Bayern, and all that. Elka says Paredes or McKennie. McKennie got an assist the other day. I think he assisted like Milik or something like that. I would go for McKennie. Easier. I think I love the fixture, and also I think he's guaranteed to start. Is KDB good? AMD says KDB is very, very good. But the problem is I have a feeling he might be rested. They are playing. They have Southampton over the weekend. Surely someone will be rested because I think Mahrez will start and I think Alvarez might start. Midfield, I think the likes of Gundogan and Bernardo Silva will start because I think Rodri is out. So KDB is good. If he starts, it's perfect. Against Copenhagen, if KDB starts and Haaland starts, you're looking at 3 goals and 3 assists. So I think it's worth the risk, especially if you're playing your limitless or something. Rajan says Vlahovic, Haaland, Mbappe, good attack. Yeah, no problem with that. Anel says Lloris, Edison, Lloris. Annette Lloris, oh my goodness. He did make a couple of saves against Sporting, but I think Frankfurt will score. Cancelo, Kostic, Trent, Davis, Perisic. You've gone for 2 Tottenham defenders, Perisic and Lloris, Arnold. That is definitely a no-no for me. I would not go for 2 Tottenham defenders. Salah, Diaz, Sane, Musiala, Bellingham. No problem with that. Benzema, Kane, Haaland. Is Arnold the Tottenham fan? Or do you really trust Tottenham to beat Frankfurt? I think that game will end 1-1 or 2-2. So you can keep Kane as a differential. Is this a limitless? If Sané doesn't start, then going Son and Neuer and over Lloris and Sané. I would not go for. Let me know. Are you playing? What did Anel say? Are you playing a cheap? Anel says I'm playing my limitless. Okay, so you're playing your limitless. If you're playing your limitless, I understand why you've gone for Ederson. I think Ederson is a guaranteed starter, so I can see why you've gone for him. Cancelo is fine. Kostic, Trent, Davis. I'm really not sure about Liverpool's defense and Tottenham's defense. Not sure at all. Salah and Diaz, both of them. You definitely trust Liverpool and Tottenham, Arnold. You definitely trust both of them. I'd probably try and go for, let me just show you the fixtures here. Bayern Munich, 3 players definitely. Inter Milan, Lewandowski against Inter Milan, I think he will score. Ajax, Napoli. Do you have any Ajax players there? Nope, you don't have any Ajax players. Now, I know you've not gone for them because you're going for all the big guns because you don't have a budget. But I think Napoli against Ajax will be like a 3-2. So if you can go for at least one of our attackers in that game, Kvaratskhelia, Kudus, Bergwijn, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. The second day, Dortmund, Sevilla, Man City, Copenhagen, Madrid, Shakhtar. Do you have Madrid players there? So I would potentially go for Vinicius instead of Benzema, to be honest. I'd take out Benzema, bring in Mbappe or Neymar, and I'd take out Diaz or Salah and bring in Vinicius. That is what I would do. But hey, it is your team, Arnold. You're the manager of your team. You know what to expect. All of you watch football, so it necessarily doesn't matter what I say, what anyone says. As long as you watch football and you know how these teams play, you might feel like Juventus is going to win that game by 5-0. Just depends on how you feel. You might think Liverpool are going to win that game by 4-0, but personally, I don't think so. I think Tottenham will concede 2 goals, and I think Liverpool will concede against Rangers. Thanks for the tip. I'd go for Sergio Gomez. Thank you. No problem. Hi. Best 5.9 midfielder. Do you already have Kvaratskhelia in your team? I think Kvaratskhelia is standout. As I say, that game is going to end 3-3 or something like that. Up against where are they playing? Are they playing today? Yep, they're playing today against Ajax. I think is quite a good option, and also Kudus from the same fixture, both of them. I also think 5.9 directly. I'm not sure who's 5.9 directly at 5.9. Let me just check midfielders. But Kudus and Kvaratskhelia are cheaper. Let's go to 5.9, 5.96. No, I wouldn't go for the Shakhtar players for now. Joao Mario against PSG, nope. So I think it's just those two, unless you already have them in your team. So Kvaratskhelia and Kudus alone, that they save you money as well. So those are the two. Brendan says Trent, attacking option possible. He can assist, obviously, but nah, man. The Liverpool defense this season has been all over the place, and they've even admitted it themselves. Like if you see the journalists talking about them, Liverpool is like the worst defense right now. I think they'll start keeping clean sheets and winning games, obviously. But as of now, nah, I wouldn't go for them. I think they're better options. But if you're not playing your wildcard or you're limitless and you already had Trent in your team, obviously keep him. You don't have to take him out. But if you're playing a cheap like a limitless, I think there's better teams to target for this week. Javob says best goalkeeper under 5.5 million, sporting goalkeeper 100% are done. Is there a reason for Silla over Major? Because Major did not play the last game. He was a doubt. He didn't play the last game for Club Brugge. They changed. He wasn't even on the bench, so that is why Silla is there. But by the time we hit the deadline, Silla might not be there. So Major, that is why I've gone for Silla. But if you want cheaper 4.1, there's another guy at Club Brugge. I think it's called. It starts with an M as well. Michel. I think his name is Michel. So you can also go for him if you're trying to save cash. Lunin is okay. How to ask him? Sorry, don't get that. How are you, Alan? I'm doing good. I feel like a differential being one of the only ones not playing a chip. How is your team looking? If your team is looking good enough, then you don't really have to play a chip. Are you going to make changes to your team 100%? Because I didn't want people to copy the same exact team, especially on a wildcard. I will make like 4 changes to this team, especially after we see the Bayern Munich team news, which I'm going to check right now. There's definitely going to be changes, especially defense. I might not go for Upamecano. Midfield, I might change one player. I'm looking at Napoli players as well. Best 4 million defenders, Salzburg, Dedic at Salzburg, Cayman. And also Michele from Club Brugge, which used to be Major, but is not there. So I'll just go for one, Dedic at Salzburg. Who is better? Lewandowski with the mid-range at 4.5 or Leao with Bellingham? Lewandowski, Inter Milan, mid-range 4.5, Leao with Bellingham. I think AC Milan would score against Chelsea, Bellingham. I'd go for the second one, Leao and Bellingham. Major, yep, that is the one. Major did not play. He's a very good option, but he didn't play for Club Brugge last game, so I'm worried about him not starting. I've had him since match day 1. I'm quite happy. He gave me points in match day 1 that not many people had him. So I think we've reached the maximum potential anyway. I don't think Club Brugge will just win every single game. I think it's time they'll start losing a couple and conceding a couple. Thank you, Ripardo. So Neuer is starting in goal. Upamecano, delete in defense. They're also going for Davis, and Mazraoui. Mazraoui is good at right back. Mazraoui was very good at Ajax last season. Like I had him for almost the entire season. Musiala, Gravenberch was another one very good at Ajax. And Gnabry starting as well. Sane, Mane, Musiala. So the thing is, since Muller is out with COVID as well, Mane or Sane could start up front, right? One of them is going to start as a striker, or maybe even Gnabry. So that is quite good, man. So I'll type in that team. On the bench, they have Pavard, Sabitzer, Tel, Stanisic. They only have 1, 2, 3, 4. Bayern Munich only have 6 players on the bench. My goodness, literally, they have so many injuries. Thank you. There's 60 of you watching. Hit the like button if you haven't yet. I'll really appreciate it. Biswa says Alisson or Adan. Way cheaper, man. Is I think Alisson is way too expensive and they'll concede. I'm playing, so I'll just type in the for best 5.5 million defender Kostic or PPS Ops. Let me just call you Ops. Kostic is the best defender at 5.5 million. Let me just type in Bayern Munich's team. Bayern team. We'll also check the other team, Marseille and Sporting. Keep sending in your questions. I'll get to all of them. Don't worry. I go to every single question. Let me just type in this. Upamecano, stats, delete stats. Bayern Munich have a lot of injuries. They also have Davis. They also have Mazraoui. Mazraoui will start here, but will he start in the next match day? That's the worry. But if you want to go for a differential, then you can go for him. They have Gravenberch. My goodness, that's going to take me the whole day to write Gravenberch. They also have Goretzka. They also have Sane, Mane, Gnabry, and Musiala. Bayern team. So yeah, the Bayern team will be scrolling down the bottom. I'm not sure many of you would want to see the Victoria Pilsen team at all. So that is Bayern Munich's team scrolling down the bottom. Let's see. Where did I leave? Yes, I am using my wildcard job. Marco says I'm playing wildcard. Ederson, Davis, Sailor, Cancelo, Kvaratskhelia, Kvaradona. That's what they call him. Sane, Vinicius, Bellingham, Musiala, Mbappe. You have a lot of future superstars there. Haaland, Mbappe, Musiala, Bellingham, Vinicius. I can see all of them being in the top 15 of a Ballon d'Or in the future, or top 10. Striking, so those are 2 strikers you've mentioned there. So this is just the first 11, I'm guessing. So I'm okay with this team, no problem at all. The midfield, great. Sane, Musiala. You have 2 Bayern Munich. Sailor, Ederson. You remember, you don't have to go for someone like a Sila. You can go for Juventus defender. You can go for an Atletico Madrid defender. But if you prefer him at 4.7 million, that's great. I would give that team a 9 out of 10. Marco. Kamada, good option instead of Bellingham. No, I think Bellingham is would be the first option. Kostic or Guerrero if money doesn't matter. Kostic, home fixture against Maccabi Haifa, I'd go for Kostic. Are you using a wildcard? Yes. Gnabry's at striker option is definitely a good option. If you're playing a limitless, especially for one match day, good option. But if you're playing a wildcard, I try not to go for everyone who's starting. Last season, I made that mistake of, oh my goodness, this player is starting right now. I'm going to go for him. This Man City player is playing as well. I'm going to go for him. And by the time you get to match day 4, all of them are not starting. And then you have to make a lot of transfers because 4 of them are not starting. Now, I try to go for the ones who are definitely going to start in match day 3 and 4. And then potentially go for 1 or 2 differentials. So what I mean by that, you can't go for Gnabry and also go for Nunes and also go for like another differential in defense from Man City, like a Gomez. That is too much. I think 2 differentials at most. So Gnabry is an option if you don't have any other too many differentials. Is definitely a good. That game is going to end 5-0. All of those players are going to score. I am going to be live with that watch along, by the way, in case you want to join me. Zielinski from Napoli, 100%. Carlos, I'm going to go for 3-2 in that game. And I think Zielinski, Kvaratskhelia, Simeone, all of those guys will perform. It's not that I'm a Spurs fan. I know. I'm a Madrid fan, but I'm maxed out on teams like Bayern who have a great fixture. How about going for different teams? Maybe if you're playing a limitless, especially, you're free to like try a couple of differentials. Sporting player, Marcus Edwards, or unless you just want to go for the teams you're 100% sure about. But I think on a limitless, there's a lot of teams you can target. You can go for 3 Bayern Munich players, maybe 1 Sporting player. You can even go for Lewandowski. You can go for at least a Liverpool player, Ajax, Napoli, at least 1 player from that fixture. Tottenham, you can still go for a Tottenham player, at least 1. I have no problem with Kane being in your team. It's just the defense that I'm not sure about. Man City, obviously 2-3 players as well. You can go for a Leipzig player if it's only a limitless. You can go for Nkunku if you want. I think Nkunku will go to Chelsea next season. I had Chelsea. You can go for Sterling if you want. Differential, PSG, Mbappe, Madrid, Vinicius, all of those guys. Juventus, Vlahovic. Like there's a lot of teams you can target in terms of differentials. Anyone, Bisa says anyone better than Trent for my limitless team? I'm already having Cancelo, Hakimi, Davis, Cavall. Yep, Kostic from Juventus. Kostic, Juventus. You already have Man City, PSG, Bayern, and Real Madrid. So mostly Kostic. But if you want to keep Trent, listen, if you want to keep Trent, you can still go for him. I mean, obviously, Trent is one of the first players we usually pick in our FPL teams and UCL. It doesn't become crap overnight, but I do think Rangers will score. So unless you're really depending on the attacking options, I'd go for him. I wouldn't go for him. I'd personally go for different options. I love the Hakimi pick, though. I think Hakimi will still do well this week. Team looking good without playing any chips. Didn't make any transfers yet. Looking to swap maybe Nuno Tavares or Pepe, the defender. Nuno Tavares didn't start the last game for Marseille, so if you want to change that, go ahead. You can get a couple of other 4 million defenders. Anel says, trust the fixtures. I could go Hakimi, but I don't trust PSG defensively, and he didn't start last UCL match. Yeah, that is why I think he'll definitely start in this one. And Hakimi, like whenever I have Hakimi in my team and Cancelo, it's never for the defensive returns. Like these guys can score anytime. They can assist anytime. He takes some corners, takes some free kicks, the likes of Cancelo as well, recovery points, like they can concede and still pick up 7 points. So I don't think Hakimi is a bad option, though, Arnold. And if you want a PSG defender, you don't have to go for Hakimi. You can go for the centre-backs. Silver says, are you ready and comfortable with your final team? No, that is definitely not my final team. I will make changes to the team. I will make like 4 changes. So you will see the final team when I come live for the Bayern Munich Pilsen watch along. I still have Vashele. What do you think about that? Great option, 100%. I love him as an option, man. 5 million alone for a guy who scored all those goals in the. I saw him playing for Georgia as well during the international break. Fantastic player. Sked says Guerrero good. Yep. I think Sevilla might not score in that game. Carlos says Sporting will concede 3 goals today. Nah, Marseille is not that kind of team, especially in the Champions League. I do not think so. I mean, their game is coming up fast. I think the most they'll concede is 1 goal, honestly. Nabri over Sane for differential. No, Nash. Nope. You can go for Nabri and Sane. But Nabri for Sane, absolutely not. How many people have Sane right now? Let me just check. 18% are owning him right now. A lot of people will cut in him today. So I don't think it's a disaster. 18% is not that much, like a player being on like the likes of Mbappe and Haaland at 40%, 50%, 63% for Haaland. Like if you don't have Haaland and he scores, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. I'd still go for Sane. Because it's going to also start in match day 4. Really, again, Nash, it depends on what you're doing. Are you playing a limitless? Are you playing your wildcard? If it's just for 1 match day, great. But Sun is also going to start in match day 4. We are not sure if Nabri is going to start in match day 4 as well. So that's the problem. Sane has to be in your team. I answered that one. Dedic from Salzburg. Best defenders from Club Brugge. It used to be Major, but he didn't start. So Sila is the second option. And then Michelle, the third option. Marcus says Frimpong from Leverkusen playing right wing, predicted and is a defender on UCL Fantasy. Leverkusen are playing against FC Porto. FC Porto conceded a lot of goals against Club Brugge last time. I do understand they were looking very sharp in that game against Atletico Madrid. He also had Sonodoi. That is a massive differential, Marcus. If you're going for him, I don't think a lot of people will have him. I'd still not go for him. He's a defender on UCL Fantasy. Are you happy with the defense, first of all? I mean, you can go for two differentials in your team, no problem with that. If you want Frimpong as a differential, great. But don't go for Frimpong and also go for a differential from Liverpool and also go for a differential for Bayern Munich. I think that's too much. So if you want him, you can get him in. But I think that game will end like maybe, I think it's going to be a draw. Got it. Getting Diaz over Nabri, says Alka. Zielinski or Kvaratskhelia. Depends. If you're playing a wild card and you're looking for budget, obviously Kvaratskhelia can save you a lot of money. If you're playing your limitless chip, you can go for Zielinski. If you're just making transfers, Kvaratskhelia, just keep Kvaratskhelia. When he's fit, Cayman, yes. Sane, good form. Gnabry, poor form. Sane will probably play 90 minutes, but Gnabry will come off. I mean, the problem is if they score 4-0 by halftime, all of those players will be subbed off, but as long as they do get the returns. Best 6 million midfield player from tomorrow's games. Tomorrow, Leipzig, Celtic. I think Jota is a good player from Celtic, but I think he's way too differential. Sevilla, Dortmund, Man City, Copenhagen. I mean, Man City, Real Madrid, there's no midfielders at that price. Chelsea, AC Milan, nope. Jorginho used to be a good option, but no longer. Benfica, Paris. How much is... let me check how much Juventus... How much is McKennie? And let me check how much Winston McKennie is. Winston McKennie, 5.5 million. That is your answer, Bilal. I think at 5.5 million, McKennie is good. That price, so no problem with that. You can go for him. So McKennie or Jota from Celtic, but I would go for McKennie because he's going to start against Maccabi Haifa. 6 million directly for tomorrow. I don't think there's a lot because teams like Man City and Madrid, all their players are expensive. Dortmund, 7 million, 8 million. Dinamo Zagreb, no. Salzburg, maybe their defense. And Okafor up front. Chelsea, Milan, no. Benfica, Paris, expensive players. Benfica, I mean, you can go for the 4.5 million midfielder from Benfica. I think it's called Fernando something, but is it called Fernando? The 4.5 million midfielder from Benfica, but I wouldn't go for him. So, yeah, that is my answer. Jota and McKennie, Bilal. Thoughts about Osich? I mean, good fixture, but I really prefer going for, let me just check how many people on Osich at the moment. 7.5 million. He's only selected by 1 million. So he played 84 minutes in match day 2. He played 76 minutes in match day 1. Now, I think they're going to score against Salzburg. I think it's going to be like 1-1 or 2-1. But 7.5 million is expensive unless you're playing a limitless chip, Elka. If you're playing a limitless, you can go for him. But if you aren't playing a limitless, I think there's way better options than him. You rather even get that extra 1 million and get in Jota from Liverpool, who's going to start this game. Nabrio Musiala, captain. Musiala 100%. Reattach says Musiala or Sane. Brendan says, will KDB start? Says Brendan. I really have a feeling he's going to be rested, either him or Foden. I really have that. It's almost impossible to predict Pep's team. Whatever I say basically might not even happen. So I think out of those 4 players, Haaland, De Bruyne, Foden, Cancelo, at least one of them will be rested. But who? Cancelo, I think, has the best chance of starting out of them. So the other 3, I think one of them will rest. Especially De Bruyne and Foden, who played for England during the international break. That's the other thing. What to do with Bayern assets, says Teza. Triple up on them, Teza. That's what you need to do with Bayern assets. Go for 3 of them. Lewandowski, Mbappe, and Haaland from front 3, or get rid of Lewandowski and get Sane. You're playing a wildcard, I'm assuming. If you don't have Sane, I would get Sane instead of Lewandowski. Sane against Victoria Pilsen, Lewandowski against Inter Milan, which is easier. Definitely Lewandowski, definitely not Lewandowski away to Inter Milan. Definitely Sane at home to Victoria Pilsen. Bayern Munich can score 5 goals against Pilsen. Inter Milan will not concede 5 goals against Barcelona. Vinicius plus Kvaratskhelia or Sane, Valverde. He said Cardona says Lead. I'd go for Sane and Valverde. Meyer or Loni. Now Meyer might not start from match day 4, match day 5, match day 6. So you can go for Lunin. Alan says 4.5 million Benfica midfielder Florentino. That's the one. I had him in match day one. He can get you a lot of recovery points. Cozy says, I joined your league today. I appreciate it, brother. By the way, if you haven't joined the league, the code is in the description, the first code. I think I put it in the description. I think it's the first code in the description. I'm happy to risk on Frimpong. Go ahead, Marcus. It's always great to go for a couple of differentials. Adan, Meyer, Kostic, Davis, Matip, Cancelo, Cavallal, Kvaratskhelia, Sane, Kudus, Musiala, Vlahovic, Haaland, Neymar, Valverde, playing a wildcard in 0.4 million left. So you've gone for Neymar instead of Mbappe. I still think Neymar can do a lot. Neymar is the one who has the most goals and assists this season, like for Brazil and for PSG. Defensively, it's okay. Matip can get you an attacking return assist or header, but Liverpool defense, I was thinking about them for a whole 2 weeks, but right now, nah. Sane, Kudus, Musiala. So as long as you have 3 Bayern Munich players, how many City players do you have? 2. Neymar, Cavallal as well, Kostic, Meyer. I would give this team 9 out of 10. As long as you have Sane, Kudus, Musiala, all those are good options. Vlahovic is a differential. I don't trust Juventus to score 3 or 4 goals in a game, but I think he'll definitely score in that match. So I'm happy with that team. Which other changes are you looking to make, Rajan? I'd be happy with that team. Where I seen Endeavor, they'll probably join. Let's see. Musiala or Lewandowski, captain, says Summit. Bayern Munich against Victoria Pilsen Summit, definitely Musiala. Lewandowski is Lewandowski. He will score every single game, but I think he has the better option of the best fixture basically. I learned how to go for fixtures after I didn't go for Lewandowski in match day 1 against Pilsen. I regretted that a lot, so I was like, nah, we'll never do that again. Definitely never do that again. But my team will definitely have changes. I'll definitely have changes in this team for sure. Op says best 5.2 million defender, exactly at 5.2. I mean, Bayern Munich, Upamecano is 5 million. That is good. I think definitely not Grimaldo. Which defenders do you have at 5.2? Guerrero, Dortmund, it's okay. Let's see, Dumfries, nope, is more expensive than that. Do we actually have a defender at 5.2 million exactly? I know a couple of defenders rose, but I think it's 5.1. I don't think there's any defender at 5.2. So I'd have to go cheaper for you, 5 million or 5.1. And I think Upamecano for Bayern Munich today is good option. Let me just check. Real Madrid, Alaba is 6 million. That's way too expensive. Now, there's a player at Napoli I'm looking at. Let me tell you. There's a player at Napoli I'm looking at, defender. I think it's Rui. It's Mario Rui, right? How much is he? Mario Rui is 5 million. And he got an assist. He got an assist in match day 1 or 2 for Napoli. So I think Mario Rui is not a bad option as well. And I don't think a lot of people will go for him. So if you want to go for a Napoli defender, you can go for Mario Rui. Is going to cost you 5 million. I don't think there's 5.2 exactly defender, apart from Grimaldo. A good forward for 10 million. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, that is a good budget. I mean, well, first of all, PSG. Messi and Neymar 100%. So did Messi go up in price? Let me just confirm that. Messi. PSG, Paris, Ford. How much is Messi at the moment? Messi is 10.5 million. Neymar is 10 million. So Neymar for sure. If you don't already have Neymar, Neymar is the one I'd go for if you're looking for that exact range. Vlahovic from Juventus as well, I'd consider him. I think is 9 million. So those two probably. David says, hey mate, thanks for your work. I appreciate it. Can you advise on a forward maximum 7.5 million? Milik is an injury doubt though. So I had him in my team for 5 hours yesterday before taking him out. But he is an injury doubt. They start with the front two of Vlahovic and Milik, but if he's out, I wouldn't go for him. Now, there's a couple of players from Salzburg. Sesko is great at 7 million. There's not too many, but let me just do something. Now, Man City, I think Alvarez will start for Man City. He's going to go. He's going to cost you 6 million, but I think it's way too differential and too risky. So I don't think there's way too many. Dortmund, Club Brugge, Chelsea, Celtic, Benfica, Bayern, Barcelona, Atletico, Ajax. So maybe just Sesko from Salzburg, or Jagla is more cheaper than that. So potentially Sesko. Sesko at 6 million. Sesko is going to cost you 6 million. What did you say? Your 7.5 million maximum. So Sesko from Salzburg is great. I think that's the only option at that price, really. The others are like 8 million, 9 million. I've thought about Liverpool players like Nunes and Jota. AC Milan, Napoli, not too many strikers from those teams, mostly midfielders. Madrid, Benzema is back. Sevilla, not quite sure about them. Shakhtar have a tough fixture, Sporting midfielder. So really just Sesko. I think Sesko at 6 million is good enough. Is there any good defender for 4.4 million on the dot beside Nuno? Yeah, Dedic from the same team, Salzburg. Same team as Sesko. So Dedic, Salzburg. He's for 4.4 million, 4 million on the dot. CPL coaches says Bellingham or Musiala. We are sure he's going to start. We've already gotten the team needs, and he's playing against Victoria Pilsen. Definitely Musiala from those two. I've bought in Lunin for Mayan now. Not bad at all. Bezos says, bro, Kudus, Bellingham, or Edwards. I'd go for Kudus because he's playing almost as a striker. How much better is Mbappe compared to Neymar? I think Mbappe is more explosive. Like, he's going to get you 2-3 goals in a match day. I don't think Neymar can do that. But in terms of attacking returns, in terms of goals and assists, Neymar's been better than Mbappe this season. I think Neymar already has like 10 plus goals and 10 plus assists this season. He's crazy. Like, he's scoring goals for Brazil, he's scoring goals for PSG. Like, by the fifth match day in League A, he already had like 10 attacking returns or something like that. So I don't think he's that much better. I had both of them. I've considered going for Neymar instead of Mbappe, but I've gone for Mbappe because of the kind of ownership he has. A lot of people own him. So if you don't have him and he scores 2 goals, you're in big trouble. But if he scores, it's going to be Messi and Neymar assisting him. So if you want to go for both of them, it's great. But I don't think it's way too much better than him. I'd not be surprised if both of them get the same attacking returns tomorrow. I don't think it's that much better. Neymar's been the best in terms of attacking returns this season. Neymar never misses penalties these days. Mbappe has missed a couple. I don't know who's going to take their penalties. I think right now it's Neymar. Neymar or Messi can take free kicks. Messi scored from a free kick the other day. Messi has a lot of assists this season already. So I think all 3 of them are good options. And I think PSG will win against Benfica. So great. Brendan says Di Lorenzo from Napoli. Yep. Him and Mario Rui, I think they're both good. I do think Ajax will score though, so you're looking for attacking returns and recovery points. I need a forward that plays today, maximum 7.5 million, says David. So playing today, Porto, Leverkusen. How much is Patrick Schick? I'll just check for you that. Inter Milan, Barcelona, Liverpool, Rangers, Ajax, Napoli, Club Brugge, Atletico Madrid, Frankfurt, Tottenham. So there's not too many of that price playing today. Let me just do this. Let me put Frankfurt. Let me put Leverkusen. Leverkusen. Go for the forward at 7.5 million playing today. Patrick Schick is 8.5 million, so we can't get that one. 8.5 is way too much. Do we have any Frankfurt striker who's good enough? I've not considered them, but I think they'll score against Tottenham. 4 points, 2 points. So we're not even sure who's going to start. Not at all. Oh, that is a tough one. Today, 7.5 million. I think we're really stretching. Marseille, I don't know if Alexis Sanchez is going to start from. Let me just check their team news. Just give me 1 minute. Marseille and Sporting's team news. I'll come back to answer that question, David. Let me just check who is starting for Marseille. I thought about Alexis Sanchez in match day 1 and 2, but it's a match day that he missed. I don't think there's a lot of strikers at that price. Haaland or Mbappe, captain, also thanks for the help. No problem, brother. Mbappe or Haaland, captain. That is tomorrow, though, so make sure you choose a captain from today, first of all. I have a feeling the captain who you choose from today will not need to be changed. Remember, you can change your captaincy from today to tomorrow. And I think whoever you captain today from Bayern Munich or those kind of teams will score. So you don't need to change captains. But for tomorrow, Erling Haaland for sure. Musiala or Bellingham or Valverde? Musiala. So who is starting for Marseille? Tavares is starting. So Tavares is back. I still wouldn't go for him though. So Alexis Sanchez is starting. Oh, actually, he's actually starting. Interesting. Let me just check how much Alexis Sanchez is. I don't think he's the best, but he's the only like option from today at that kind of price. Juventus, we had Milik from Juventus, but he's not playing today and might not play tomorrow anyway because of the injury. So Alexis Sanchez is a differential, especially if you're playing a limitless. Let me just check here. Striker. So Alexis Sanchez is 6.5 million and he's starting. If you're feeling brave, someone said Marseille is going to score 4 goals against Sporting today. Alexis Sanchez is an okay option for just today. So you can go for it. Not too many at 7.5, but Alexis Sanchez, who is starting, is okay. I think they might score. Sporting, let me just check Sporting's team as well. What's your favorite team, by the way? Like the team I support? The team that is top of the table in the English Premier League. Azpilicueta or Azpilicueta for Silla? Nah, definitely not. Azpilicueta is not starting. I don't think he's going to start. The new manager at Chelsea is playing a back 4, and James is starting at right back, and he's going for Thiago Silva and Fofana at centre back. So Azpilicueta might not start. Even if he starts, I think AC Milan will score like 1 or 2 goals in that game. Let me just check Sporting. Keep sending in your questions. I'll come to all of them. I'll be live right after this with the Bayern Munich watch along, and tomorrow, right after the match day is complete, I will be live once again. Is Paulinho starting? Paulinho is on the bench, so there's no striker from Sporting as well. So Alexis Sanchez. Actually, what I would do, David, I wouldn't go for 7.5 million, but yeah, you said 7.5 million maximum, so it doesn't necessarily need to be 7.5 million. I didn't read that part, so it can be cheaper. So you can go for cheaper players like Jagler from Club Brugge at only 5.5 million, and you can save that 2 million. Is Sane starting? Yep, the squad is scrolling down the bottom, Mustafa. Biswa says feeling like Vlahovic and Benzema might score. I think Vlahovic will definitely score, but the problem is 1 goal. I mean, I think you can get better options. Someone like Mbappe, I'm almost guaranteed that he's going to get a goal or assist. Haaland, I'm sure he's going to get a hat-trick. The problem with people like Vlahovic and Juventus and Atletico Madrid never score that many goals. They score like a maximum of 2 goals. So you're really hoping it's Vlahovic who scores, and you're really hoping he gets the player of the match and gets you an extra 3 points. Sane, Elka, who are your subs? Says Gabriel. So this is not my final team, but on the bench, I have Jagla, Kostic, and Di Lorenzo at the moment. Which goalkeepers do you have? Adan and Meyer. I'm going to stick with them. I don't think I'm going to change that. Lorenzo says Valverde or Bellingham. I prefer Valverde because he was rested against Osasuna. I think he's going to start in this one. Samit says, I think today's bet is who will score more points, Musiala or Sane, since I have captained Musiala and you have captained Sane. How do you like that bet? Deal. I'm going to go for Sane to score more points. Musiala is very good though, but Sane is explosive. You know, Sane, Lewandowski, Haaland, players like that, Salah last season, they're very explosive. Like they can score 2 or 3 goals in a game. There's some other players who can't really score that. Like they'll score 1 and get subbed off and things like that. Elka says Messi or Neymar. He's cheaper. He's cheaper and he has the best attacking return so far between all 3 of them. Just says Sanchez starts, but Marseille is always bad in the UCL. Another reason I'd go for Mbappe is because he didn't start over the weekend. They were playing against Nice. They were playing against Nice and he didn't start. He came from the bench, so it's fresher. Sanchez starts, but Marseille is always bad in the UCL, says Just. Yeah, I do agree with that. But I think if they're going to score a goal, it's potentially going to be him assisting or something like that. But I don't trust Marseille's forward line. I think I'm going to going on a hat-trick bet wins with you. Hopefully, no, that would be disastrous. Bayern 2 midfielders or Bayern keeper and 1 defender and 1 midfielder. Now, Tejas, if you just check the community tab on this channel, I did ask that specific question. So let me just check what people voted for. In case you haven't voted yet, there's a poll right now on this video. And there's a couple of polls on the community tab. Let's try and get to 50 likes. I'd really appreciate it. 2 midfielders and 1 defender currently has 54%. 2 defenders and 1 midfielder has 13%. 1 midfielder, 1 defender has 25%. So personally, I'd go for 2 midfielders and 1 defender. I'm even so tempted to go for 3 attackers and no defenders. So the midfield option changes. Ricardo says, good luck, Glenn. I'm on a wildcard active too. Nice seeing you, brother. Who are you captaining, Ricardo? Bellingham, Musiala. Simikas a good option at 4.5 million, says Nesh. Nah. The reason being matchday 4 Robertson will return. So if you're playing your wildcard, you'll have to take out Simikas once again in matchday 4. Number 2, Simikas did not even play 60 minutes. The other day, he got subbed off for Milner. And number 3, I think Rangers will score in that game. So I did have Simikas in my FPL, like until the final 10 minutes, and I took him out for a West Ham defender the other day. And good choice because Simikas did not return anything in that game. He got 0 points, right? Yeah, he got 0 points against Brighton the other day. Sadip says, why Kostic? Because he's playing against Maccabi Haifa in defense and he can get you recovery points in an attacking return as well. I think during the international break or over the weekend, he assisted. Bat says May is not starting. Cabell is fit and with the squad. I am aware of that, Bat. So I don't want to go for a more expensive goalkeeper. As I said, this is not my final team. I'm still going to make like 5 changes to it right after I end this stream. I know Mea is not starting, but I'm counting on him starting this match day. And then in match day 4, 5, and 6, I'll think about someone else. I'm hoping Adan can keep a clean sheet today. I'll get a return. The only other 4 million goalkeeper is McGregor from Rangers, and he's playing on the same day that Adan. I have Salah instead of Diaz, and the Napoli-Georgia player instead of Musiala. Sane is enough. You think Sane is enough from Bayern Munich? Interesting. I really think they're going to win that game by 5-0, Ricardo. I really think they're going to win that game easily as well. Salah's not been great this season, let's be honest. I know he's on penalties and stuff like that, but Diaz didn't start for Liverpool the other day. I really have a feeling Diaz can match whatever Salah gets this match day. So I'd still go for that Musiala option, but let's see how it works out for you. Which time is most perfect to use wildcard group stage or playoffs group stage? You can maximize your points, same with the limitless. You get another wildcard after the group stage anyway. So Kvaratskhelia or Kudus at home. Major or Silla. Major did not start the other day for them, but he didn't start for Club Brugge over the weekend. So I'm worried about them starting this day. So I'd go for Silla. He's more expensive. Neuer or Adan. Way cheaper. If you're playing your limitless, then you can go for Neuer. But if you're playing your wildcard, Adan, or if you're not making any or just making transfers, Adan. Mane, brace incoming. 86 of you. Can we get to 100? Mane, brace incoming. Mane has not been great in the Champions League this season, but then again, it's Bayern Munich and Sadio Mane. He can score anytime. Hopefully not, because I've not considered him. I have 1.9 million. What to do? 1.9 million. My goodness, you are rich. You are rich. Adan, Lunin, Davis, Kostic, Pedro, Porro. That is Sporting, right? Frimpong, Cancelo, Musiala, Bellingham, Valverde, Kodesane, Chakla, Haaland, and Mbappe. Now, I think Atletico Madrid have kind of woken up. I think they'll have to get a couple of points. They lost the second match day. I think they will win this one, and I think they will have to defend well to win it. So I'm not sure Jagla will score this match day. 1.9 million. If you're playing your wildcard, you've played your wildcard, right? There's no problem with saving cash to go forward. So if you're happy with your team the way it's looking right now, there's no problem with saving cash for match day 4 or 5, especially if you've already played your limitless, or if you're planning to play your limitless in match day 6. That cash will really help you in match day 4 or 5. You never know. After this match day, one of these players might get injured. And then you'll need to go to someone like a Vinicius or someone like that. That 1.9 million will really help you. So I would keep it like, if you're happy with the team, you can keep it like that and save the cash for later. Gomez played 1 minute, 1 goal, 6 points. Will he start this match day? Gomez, I'm not sure at all. Gomez, let's go for Gomez. The Gomez that will start is the Man City Gomez. Let's see. I just don't like Sevilla at all, man. Sevilla poor. Sevilla, since they sold Kunde and the other guy who went to Aston Villa, Diego Carlos. I don't think Sevilla's defense is good at all. He's a midfielder, Alejandro Gomez. They're not scoring that many goals as well. I mean, they didn't score against Atletico Madrid the other day. Atletico Madrid kept a clean sheet against them. Sevilla have not even scored a goal, right? They didn't score a goal against Man City, and they didn't score against Copenhagen. He's only picked up. Nah, I wouldn't go for him, really. That's the Gomez you're talking about, right? I would not go for him at all. Pat, I hope that's the Gomez you're talking about, the Sevilla one. I would not go for Sevilla attacking players. Vic says De Bruyne and Kvaratskhelia, Musiala and Diaz. The second one, Musiala and Diaz. What about loaning from Madrid? What about loaning from Madrid? Madrid have a player called, the goalkeeper. Oh, what am I saying? The goalkeeper who started, right? He started instead of Courtois. Courtois was injured. Yeah, I almost forgot who the hell he was. No, I think it's too risky. Whenever Courtois comes back, right now he might start, but I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. How much is loaning right now? He did concede against Osasuna. He conceded a very terrible goal as well. Very poor goalkeeping. Loaning. How much is he right now? 4 million. Courtois is out injured. I don't know when Courtois is going to be back. I mean, it's not a bad option. If you're playing a limitless and stuff like that, I wouldn't go for him. The problem with going for him on your wildcard is that if Courtois is back next match day, then basically Lunin will not start. I'm trying to go for players who will definitely start for me all the way to match day 5. I know I have a goalkeeper who's not going to start in Maya is not going to start in match day 4 and 5 mostly. So I think you can go for him. I actually think you can go for him, no problem at all, Lewis. You can definitely go for Lonin. I don't think Madrid will keep a clean sheet though. Terry just says best second day keeper instead of Ederson on a limitless. Second day, Salzburg goalkeeper, I think is okay against Dinamo Zagreb. Are you playing a limitless? Sorry, let me see. Oh, you're playing a limitless apart from Ederson. Szczesny's back. I think Szczesny will start against Maccabi Haifa, so maybe Szczesny. Tejas. Let me do this. Keep sending in your questions. Vlahovic instead of Mbappe, what's the money, says Alejandro. As I said, Mbappe is more explosive. I don't think Vlahovic will get you more than 12 points. I think Mbappe can. I don't think I'd go for Vlahovic instead of Mbappe. I would go for both of them if you want. I like your team, Glenn. Good luck with it. We have some similar choices all around. It's definitely not going to be my final team, though, Ricardo. I'm going to end this like 10 minutes before the deadline, and I'm going to make like 4 changes to this team, mostly defensively. Changes. Guerrero or Timber. Guerrero, easier fixture. I think Napoli will score against Ajax. Best Real Madrid defender, apart from the goalkeeper. They're very expensive though, Eddie. So the best one, I'd probably go for Cavallal at right back. Alaba is taking free kicks, but he's 6 million. So if you're playing a limitless, go for Alaba. But if you're just going for usual transfers, then potentially Cavallal. Check Sporting's Gomez. Interesting. Sporting have a Gomez. I didn't see him when I searched for Gomez, unless it's S at the end. Sporting I can't lie to you, I've never seen him. Sporting, Gomez. Sporting, I can't see any Gomez here. Gomez. There's no Gomez at Sporting, unless I'm dreaming. Oh, it's S at the end. There is a Gomez. Got you. It's S at the end. Arthur Gomez. That is why I couldn't find him. Well, I've never even seen him. He only played 1 minute and scored 1 goal. Oh, come on. Pat. He will not do that again. He'll not play 1 minute and score 1 goal again. Is he starting? He's starting today. Let me just see. Sporting team. Let me just check if he's starting today. Sporting. Reminder, I'll be live with the Bayern Munich watch along. Sporting are playing with Adan. The pronunciations will be terrible. Apologies for that. Race, oh my goodness, Juste Inacio, hopefully. Morita, Santos, Goncalves, Trincao, Edwards. He's not even starting though, Arthur Gomez, so I wouldn't go for him. Definitely don't go for a player who's not starting, but 100% not. I've seen him. I've never actually looked at him. That is why he's only played 1 minute. But I wouldn't go for him though. Limitless, Neuer, Arnold, Davis, Silla, Salah, Son, Mane, Sane, Mbappe, Haaland, Karim. It's good. Mbappe, Haaland. I think you can go for at least one Juventus player. Midfield, Salah, Silla, Salah, Son, Mane, Sane. Yeah, how many Bayern Munich players do you have? 3. Okay, so no problem. I still prefer 2 attackers to 2 defenders, but that is great. I'd give that 8 out of 10 because I'm not sure about Liverpool keeping a clean sheet against Rangers. And I'm not sure about Benzema at the moment. I mean, why am I even saying I'm not sure about Benzema? Benzema is potentially a Ballon d'Or winner very, very soon before he retires. But the thing is, he also missed a penalty the other day. I mean, I've seen him missing a lot of penalties this season alone, like 3 or something like that. Even last season, he missed a lot. I think he'll still take penalties, but if Hazard is on the pitch, I think Hazard could take the penalties. I still prefer Vinicius and Valverde. So I'd give the team 8 out of 10. Best midfielder, below 7.3 million on a wildcard, Bellingham or Valverde, maybe. Valverde 100%. He didn't start the other day, he's well rested. Musiala, Lewandowski, captain. Anyways, it doesn't matter because everyone is going to captain Haaland on match day 2. Nobody wants to regret on Haaland's points. Yeah, Haaland is a machine. I didn't captain him in FPL the other day. Painful, absolutely painful. I enjoyed him scoring 3 goals against Man United, don't get me wrong. But like having him in FPL and not captaining him, very, very painful. He's a beast. He's going to break a lot of records. Him and Mbappe, they're going to break a lot of records. In the next 5 years, I think I actually have to put him in the channel ban. I have Mbappe and Salah. I think it's time to change to Haaland because this guy is going to be... I can see Man City winning a lot of trophies in the next few years. Actually, I can see Man City winning the Champions League in the next 3 years. Maybe even this season. I think with these guys, De Bruyne assisting Haaland, I think they'll eventually win the Champions League somewhere. Is it okay having 9 players playing today and 6 playing tomorrow? Yep, no problem, Lucy. That is fine. Silla or Michele, Silla, Neymar or Lewandowski. That is a hard one. If you already have Mbappe, Lewandowski. If you don't have Mbappe, I'd go for Neymar. I prefer that PSG fixture against Benfica. Isn't Danilo better? Nah, I'll still go for Kostic. I know it's cheaper, but I'd go. There's a reason it's cheaper. I'd still go for Kostic. No problem. Thoughts on Sesko, says Alma. I looked at him the other day. He's very he doesn't play every single 90 minutes. I need a player who's going to play for me 90 minutes. I don't like when a player plays 60 minutes and gets subbed off. I noticed that with Milik as well from Juventus. He doesn't really play 90 minutes. That's the problem. So Sesko can do for you the job against Dinamo Zagreb, but I don't think they'll score more than 2 goals in that game. So let me just tell you, he played 75 minutes again on the weekend. He played 70 minutes in the last Champions League game against Chelsea. So he does get subbed off a lot. But I think if you think he's going to do the job for you within the 60 minutes, you can go for him. Is Nuno Mendes a good option? PSG, yes. Yes, but I don't think this match I would go for him against Benfica. I think Benfica will score. If you're playing a limitless, I think you can go for Hakimi because he's a more attacking threat. But if you're playing a wildcard or anything, no, I think Benfica will score at home. Trent on a limitless worth it. Personally, I wouldn't go for him. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. How are you, RK? But obviously, if you're playing a limitless, it's definitely worth it. You can go for him. I mean, it's Trent we're talking about still. He's not a useless player. He can still score a free kick tomorrow. Or is he playing today? wherever he's playing. Lewandowski or Benzema, Lewandowski, Yusuf. Now, Benzema is playing at home against Shakhtar. Lewandowski is playing away against Inter. Inter Milan are not doing well. They're like 8th or something in their league or something like that. So I think Barcelona will score. Barcelona are top of the table in La Liga. I think they're doing well. Lewandowski scored against Mallorca the other day. I think he'll score as well. I think they can get the same number of points. I can see both of them getting 1 goal. Bring in Alexis Sanchez, trust the process, says G. Go for him, man. Best 6 million midfielder, says reattached. Best 6 million midfielder, there is Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. There is Kudus from Ajax. They are slightly cheaper than that. Those are the ones I would go for from those two teams. Sergio Gomez at Man City, good option on a wildcard. Yes, Vic. I think he'll start both match days, match day 3 and 4, mostly because there's a lot of defenders injured. Alma says, apart from Jagler, who would you go for 6 million forward? Alexis Sanchez playing today. That is the one I'd go for. We are guaranteed he's going to start. Penguin says, how much do you have in the bank with this team? This is not my final team, Penguin. I'm not going to post my final team right now because I don't want people to go for the exact similar options. It makes it a bit boring when everyone has the same player. So I want it to be a bit different. So I will change like 4 or 5 of these players. But how much I have on the bench? Let me just read the rest of your comment. Also, why are you not starting Di Lorenzo over Cancelo as he plays then tomorrow? As I say, this is not my final team. I'll do the final touches in the final 10 minutes. I'm going to do it right now, actually, in terms of changing that. You never know. The internet may decide to go off today. That would be a disaster. I've had that happen before. You're waiting for last minute and then something just crazy happens, like the app goes down, like in FPL. Lorenzo over Cancelo as he plays today. Yeah, I will do that. Di Lorenzo will not be in my team. I'll potentially take him out. Kunku or Kudus? I'd go for Kudus. I think Leipzig will score against Celtic. I think Kudus. I think that will be a very high scoring game. How much I have on the bank with this team? 0.9 million, Penguin. That is how much I have in this team. So there's still a couple of changes I'll make. I'm not convinced about going with them 2 Club Brugge players in Jagler and Silla. Potentially change one of that. A lot of people have told me I need to change my goalkeeper because Meyer, I will not be playing for match day 4, 5, 6. 4 million though, I will look at that. Di Lorenzo. Let me just change that right now. Di Lorenzo. No, this showed me the transfers tab. So let me go back to this other page. So how many players do I have playing on the first day? If you're just joining by day, if you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate it if you do, and hit the like button as well. So dates, let me put this one in, sub in. This is definitely not. I've even been thinking about going for 3 attackers from Bayern Munich, but I'm trying to balance it out for match day 3 and 4. If this was a limitless, I'd go for 3. I'd go for Nabry as well. But since it's not, I'm not going to go for him. Jagler, go into my team as well. Valverde out. So I will definitely make changes. Let me know if you're joining me for the watch along Bayern Munich. I want to see who's going to perform well in that match, in this game. Let's see. So Sane, Musiala, and Upamecano are done starting. I'm going to make one transfer right now. I'm going to take out, let me just make one transfer right now. And then I'll still make like another 3 transfers after this, but I won't make it on the stream. I'm going to take out Jagler. Jagler is not going to be in my team. I'm going to bring in Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez forward 6.5 million. Oh my goodness, I don't have 0.1 million. So I'm going to have to look for that 0.1 million somewhere. So I can't bring him on the stream, but I'll have Alexis Sanchez in this team. Who would you pick between Bellingham, Son, Foden? I have a feeling Foden might be rested. I really have a feeling he might be rested. Him and De Bruyne, I have a feeling one of them will be rested. They have a couple of injuries, but I'm thinking they'll go with Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and maybe De Bruyne. Thank you. Ray, how are you, man? I've not seen you on the stream. Thank you for coming on. Mane or Musiala, but I'd not be surprised if Mane scores. So I play a lot of fantasy football. I play the Norwegian fantasy football. I play the Bundesliga fantasy football. I have Mane and Sane in my Bundesliga fantasy football team. But right now, the Champions League, I wouldn't go for him. If you're playing a limitless, you can definitely go for him for one match day. No problem at all. That was the Yusuf question, by the way. I brought up the wrong comment. Hi says, is Julian Alvarez a good option of a juggler? I think he is, but we're not sure he's going to start. That's the problem. If we were sure he was going to start, he definitely is going to be in my team, Julian Alvarez. But the problem, especially, I don't want to miss a Man City attacker in this game. So if Haaland doesn't start and I don't have a Man City attacker, I'd be very mad at myself because I know someone like Bernardo Silva will start. I know Alvarez could start. So if Haaland is rested and I don't have De Bruyne and Foden, I'd be in a lot of trouble. So that is why I was thinking about bringing Alvarez to this team as well. So if Haaland doesn't start, Alvarez starts. I don't think both of them will be on the bench. So I thought about that. So he might start. And I think he will come on in that game and potentially could score. Cavallal or Van Dijk? Cavallal. Top 3, 4.5 million defenders. So top 3. So 3 defenders at 4.5. Could it be less than that? Or exactly 4.5 million? So if it's less or even less than that, 4.5 million defenders, let me go through the fixtures. I wouldn't go for Tavares. Inter Milan, Barcelona, Liverpool, Rangers, Ajax, Napoli, Club Brugge, Atletico Madrid. Sila is more expensive than that. That is a tough question, that exact price. Dedic from Salzburg against Dinamo Zagreb. Guerrero is more expensive than that. Sergio Gomez at Man City against Copenhagen. I think he'll start. So that's the second one. And then the third one is pretty difficult to get at 4.5 million. So I'd probably tell you a defender from... I know Tsimikas is going to start against Rangers, but I'm not sure about Liverpool at all. So Sporting. How much? Let me just check for you, Sporting defenders. I can only give you 2, I think. Let me check Sporting defenders. Go back to the tab. Is there any Sporting defender around this price? Because I think they still have a good chance of doing well in this fixture. But Gomez from Man City, not many people will go for him. Sporting, 4.5 million defender. Nah, they are way too expensive, man. 5.2, 4.6. Inasi is 4.6 as well. All their defenders are up. So this just a guy is 4.5 million and he's starting. So that is the only play I can give you. But guaranteed, I'd only give you 2, really. The likes of Sergio Gomez at Man City. Best replacement for Meyer. Personally, I have Meyer. The problem is if you have Adan playing today, you can't go for McGregor from Rangers. But if your other goalkeeper is playing tomorrow, you can go for McGregor because it's the same price at 4 million, Nesh. Name of Vlahovic, love that Maccabi Haifa game. Elka really loves this Maccabi Haifa game. You can go for Vlahovic. If you have Mbappe, you can go for Vlahovic. But if you don't have a PSG strike, I think you have to have a PSG strike. PSG will always score goals. Who do you think will start with VVD as Liverpool's partnership at centre-back? Matip. Power says, hey, how's this team? Adan and Neuer. You have Adan and Neuer. They're playing on the same day. Yeah, so change your goalkeeper. Power, you need to change your goalkeeper. Get a goalkeeper who's also playing tomorrow because you can sub out your goalkeeper if they don't keep a clean sheet. So this is not a wildcard. This is not a limitless, right? Yeah, this is not a limitless. So I would potentially take out Neuer maybe. I'd take out Neuer for another goalkeeper playing tomorrow. Defender, Guerrero, Matip, Cavallal, Cancelo, and David or Davis. I think he meant Davis. Sane, Kudus, Valverde, Foden, Jagler, Lewandowski, Haaland. The striking, again, I really think PSG are going to score at least 2 goals. That is the problem. I really think PSG are going to score a couple of goals. So I think you have to have at least Mbappe or Neymar, any of them. I think they have to be in your team. So in terms of rating that team, I'd give you 8 out of 10. I like the midfield. I know Foden scored a hat-trick against Man United, but there's a chance he's not going to start in midweek. I'd potentially go for Bernardo Silva if you want a midfielder from them. The goalkeeper as well, change a goalkeeper to a goalkeeper who's also playing tomorrow. Defense, that is fine, I guess. So 8 out of 10 for that team. I think you still need to make like a couple of changes. Do you think Nunes will start, says Shash? Yep, I think he'll start. I also think Jota will start. Any good player from Marseille? Yeah, Alexis Sanchez up front. Neymar or KDB? Neymar. Neymar is definitely going to start. I know, like, listen, if KDB was a guaranteed start, I still have a feeling one of them is going to be rested. That's the thing. Him or Foden. It's Copenhagen. I'm sure Mahrez will potentially start or someone like that. But if it's from those two and KDB is starting, De Bruyne against Copenhagen on 100%. Carvajal, Van Dijk, Carvajal. And what Man City defenders do you think will play? Sergio Gomez, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz. Pat says, last question, Bellingham or Musiala. Penguin says, what are the chances of Perrin playing for Juventus? There is a chance they rotate their goalkeepers a lot, but I think Szczesny will start. They've lost their first 2 games, so they have to be very careful. They have to go for it. That is why I think the likes of Vlahovic will score, because Juventus have to defend very well, and they have to at least get a couple of goals, because if they lose again today and don't win, they might go out to the Champions League. So I think they'll go with their strongest goalkeeper in Szczesny. So I don't think Perrin will start. So thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. So let me check what you guys are saying in terms of the poll. I put in the chat how many of you are playing a wildcard, how many of you are playing a limitless ship. Let's see. I'm so tempted to go for Foden, but it's risky, says hi. The thing is with someone like Foden, if he doesn't start, I don't think he'll come on, because I think they'll get the job done and he'll be rested totally. But I have a feeling he's not going to start. This is my predicted Man City lineup on top, from the top of my head. That is the defense: Gomez, Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, and Laporte. I think they'll start with Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, and De Bruyne in midfield. And I think up front they'll go with Julian Alvarez, Haaland, and Mahrez. That is what I'm thinking. So that means no Foden, no Grealish. It's tough. It's so hard to predict. Relaxing Central, how are you? Delete or Upamecano, you can literally go for either. Like, there's no correct answer there. Maybe Upamecano, because we know he's also going to start in match day 4. Lewis says, last season I didn't use my limitless till the final. Should I use it in match day 5 or 6? Any is okay. Any is okay. Personally, I've not even decided whether I'm going to use it in match day 5 or 6. There's 60% chance I'm going to use it in match day 6 and 40% chance in match day 5. The reason is because by match day 5 and 6 or match day 6, we get to know which teams have already gone through. So let me just check the fixtures here in match day 6. So in match day 6, Liverpool is playing Napoli, Rangers is playing Ajax, Bayern, Inter, Barcelona, Pilsen, Real Madrid, Celtic. There's Man City, Sevilla, Chelsea, Dinamo Zagreb, Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain. So I'm assuming by match day 6, Barcelona will not have gone through yet, because that group is tight with Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. So, for example, that final match day, Barcelona trying to go through. If I play my limitless, I'll definitely have someone like a Dembele and Jules Koundé there and Lewandowski from Barcelona. Real Madrid, if they haven't gone through yet, basically have Benzema or Vinicius in that team as well. Man City, they'll already have gone through, so I can go for someone like Mahrez. AC Milan, Chelsea, they'll be both fighting for top of the table, I'm guessing. I'll potentially go for Sterling or Theo Hernandez or Rafael Leao. Juventus, if they haven't gone through, I can consider one of their players. PSG, if they're still going for top of the table, I can still go for their player. Ajax, if they're still not gone through yet, I can still go for their players. I hope you get the idea. Like, by match day 6, we know which teams have already gone through and which teams haven't gone through, and we go for the players who haven't gone through yet. So we know they're not going to be rested like Lewandowski. Like, if I play my limitless in match day 6, Lewandowski is going to be the captain 100%. Let's see. Striker less than 7.6 million. Alexis Sanchez, Jagler from Juventus, from Club Brugge as well. If you prefer, Sesko from Salzburg. I think Julian Alvarez will play both Copenhagen games. I also think so as well. I literally think so too. Man City are 5 points ahead of third place and don't need their best players to win. Best 4.4 million defenders, 4 million defenders. Dedic from Salzburg. Foden, I don't think he'll start, but I am not Pep Guardiola. He might decide to start with him, so I think he's not going to start. So, guys, thank you for joining in. Make sure to hit the like button. I will be back with the watch along in the next 10 minutes. I have to take a short break. Hopefully, that is all the questions. He was for match day 1 and 2, but the goalkeeper is back, so I don't think Maya will start all the way till match day 6. But I really appreciate you guys joining. I will be back very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Catch up with you in 10 minutes for the Bayern Munich watch along.